I've seen them all. Backflips, head kicks, flying kicks, one-on-one, 10-to-1, little stunts, big stunts, and all the rest. So where did it all start? Right here at Dai Studios in Chofu, Japan. With this guy, Shintaro Katsu as Zatoichi, the blind swordsman, a roving gambler and masseur who would perform trademark feats of legerdemain when not being assailed by hordes of outlaw yakuza. This is the visual code that would kick off the Hong Kong martial arts boom of the 1970s. In order to understand why the Chinese would emulate Japanese Chambara cinema so much, we need to go back in time to the Tianyi company run by Run Zheshaw and Run Shaw, who in 1925 released what most film scholars believe to be a pioneer of the kung fu genre, Heroine Li Fei Fei. It was a standard Mandarin ducks and butterflies romance, symbols of devoted lovers typically found in classical Chinese literature, but a derogatory reference to popcorn filmmaking of the day. It was an early success and paved the way for their expansion in the crowded Shanghai market. The brothers continued producing silent films up until the late 1930s. They were different from those of other companies which simply copied Hollywood formula. Tianyi met its audience's needs by identifying with Chinese folklore and keeping away from mimicking Western film. With the Second World War and the establishment of the People's Republic of China under Mao in 1949, it left little room for business opportunities, and Run set up the Shaw Brothers enterprise in 1958, Hong Kong. Cantonese cinema also developed the kung fu film, most prominently in the lengthy series centering on the martial artist Wong Fei Hong. In these movies, the figures were often shot with rather static and distant coverage in black and white, compared to this from the Shaw Brothers the following year. In addition, imported samurai films exercised a powerful influence over local filmmakers. The Shaws distributed swordplay films from Toei and Dai Studios, and Run Shaw screened these imports for his staff to study, like this previous scene from Zatoichi, whose influence was unmistakable from the mid-1960s right up until the early 1970s. By 1970, swordplay films were the mainstay of the local market and a big part of the studio's output. It ushered in some simple but effective aerial combat, such as trampolining, reverse footing, and the signature crash zoom of the Shaw Brothers films. But a local stuntman had been plying his trade since the early 60s with more authentic kung fu choreography, combined with wire work to create the signature style associated with Hong Kong cinema of today, the one and only Lau Kar Lung. The Hong Kong tradition relies on rhythmic staging and cutting, but Lau took things further than most. Even in scenes not centred on combat, he found ways to make movements counter each other, such as this sequence from Dirty Ho.
不是这样，应该是这样的。自己喝太没意思，还是我来先敬你。不用客气。小陆，拿酒来。是。
Today, watching the realistic action scenes of Jason Bourne films and the others like it, with their choppy cutting, dodgy framing, and murky staging,
Shit just got real.
I'm reminded why the Shaw Brothers are the gold standard for shifting bodies around a camera frame. That brings me to the end of this video essay. I hope it's been insightful and you've learned something about Hong Kong cinema.